Hello everyone, this is Qiuvox. In this video I will walk you through my 8 Forma Jade setup that I just been working the whole night to do it. And I just wanted to make this video as fast as possible without some fancy editing that I'm usually used to do. And in this video I will walk you through how the Jade works and what kind of setup you can exactly do and what you should focus on. And if you're ready, subscribe and let's just go into the setup itself, the skills first of all. So the Jade has kind of different things that you can do and with the skills and combinations and all. So for the start, the first skill, I'm not sure about the names, the Light's Judgment, okay? So it is basically making some sort of little AoE and marking the enemies on their top of the head, which you are gonna see like right now, is marking with some sort of a star wing angelic some sort of thing, and it is making a damage. And if you are inside, it is also going to heal you too, which you can see on the top right of the screen. It is 22% is healing that I'm getting. Also the people, the enemies are getting the heat damage from it. So it has a quite huge AoE, as you can see. Like, let's say throw it there, so you can see it is kind of a huge AoE here, and you can have up to 5 Light's Judgment at the same time. And of course the duration mode changes its duration, which you cannot see it on the ability bar, but the setup that I'm running has like a 15.5 seconds duration, and you can see like damage a second 1.3k, health a second is 22%, and the radius is 14.1 meter, which also affected by range modes and the strength modes too. So the whole point using that skill is to mark the enemies, and also of course if you are inside you can get a little bit healing and you can cover up the whole map like this. This is pretty insane skill, I might add. So this is the first skill, which I will come into it later on, or just I can just come right now, but it's fine. So the second skill, I'm not sure of the name. What is it? What is the name of this? Symphony of Mercy. So it has a 3 version of it, like you can roll in between. One of them giving you power strength, one of them is giving you damage increase for the weapon, and then the third one is giving you overshield and reducing the shield charge delay. So if we go and press R1, I'm on the PS5, and hold the square, you can see that I made the ability strength, so I have a 68% more damage right now. But if I, let's say, proc the growing power and then I use this, so it goes up to 75% power of the 7. So I'm getting the power strength right now, but if I hold the button and press just once, I'm gonna get a weapon damage, or if I switch to the shield, it is gonna give me the shield basically. So it is kind of a good mechanic, because when you need it you can just switch in between and it is just gonna work. And let's say you have this, and then you refresh the skill to get the growing power. So basically you are gonna keep the buff, but if you change the thing, for example I'm getting 27% shield, and even though I have the growing power up, it's still 27%, but if I refresh the skill, is now 30%. So it's kinda good in that way if you keep in mind of the growing power, which I will show the whole mods and stuff as well. So the good thing is that you can switch in between, like if you are gonna use the ability, just switch to ability strength and then use your skills, etc. and then just switch to weapon, and then you can basically nuke the people like this, etc. Of course I'm not nuking them right now, but you got the point. And if you need shield for the squad, you can just switch to the squad and you can get the shield or just keep it up. That's pretty good. And the third skill, it is sort of a gaze or Ophanim eyes. It is like summoning some little thingies around you, and it destroys the shield and the armor of the enemy. It has a 46.5 seconds duration, range is 47 meters, this is perfect, like it is not too much, it is not too little. And the damage is 136, but you don't worry about the damage. And the defense reduction, a second, 27%. And it also slows the enemy every second, like a Nova as well, Nova ulti. And the cap is the same, 90% the slow cap, and it has an angle of 70 degree. So you can see that they have a yellow armor right now. And if I activate the Ophanim eyes and if I stare at them for like a while, they are gonna get their armor completely removed and is gonna leave you with the red health, and then you can basically destroy it afterwards. So let's say I open the weapon damage and then just he's gonna destroy all of them. That's how it works, removing the armor and the shield of them is pretty strong, pretty strong skill. And also if your teammate is dead, like in there, you can just look at them and it is gonna revive them without you going there and pressing and holding the revive button. Like basically you just need to aim and look while the skill is up. That's it. You can revive players from far away. I mean not far away, 47 meters in this case. But yeah, you can see there's some sort of a flashlight effect, which means that where you exactly staring at them. So you can see 137 damage there. But if I turn my camera there, you can see the damage is happening just right here now. And if I change, you can see it is on the other side, and obviously it is going through the walls. But the damage is nothing. So the damage is literally nothing, but it is so good to remove the armor and shield and stuff. And pretty good skill, and you can revive people with that. And the ultimate is some sort of Hildren Titania, not Titania, but the Hildren sort of skill, Glory on High. And basically you have an access to those little things is gonna fire on the enemy. If you primary fire with this, it's gonna fire on the people. And it has an exalted weapon of glory as well. So you can see on the bottom right it says a glory. So you need to make a complete different setup for it too. And this is not the only thing that it can do. Like you can fly and all, of course, and you reduce the damage that you take while you are airborne as well. It is a Jade passive. It has some sort of a shield. Let me see. You have 2 aura mode. Some of her abilities applies judgment, which is the first skill. In our case, is just as straight. Increasing enemy damage vulnerability by 50% for 10 seconds. So basically while you are flying, you can see damage reduction is 50% on the Glory on High. And damage is 416, and the alternate fire 4k basically, and the radius is 9.4 meter for it. And the other one, the Glory itself, it also has a radius you can see like it is kinda, there is a little explosion going on. I tried fulmination and all on the Exalted weapon, but I'm not sure it is not exactly working on it. So maybe I'm wrong about this and I actually need to do more range on the Warframe setup itself. But if you look at that, this skill has a huge range already, so you can see that I'm kinda on a high range. So you can fly like this, like a mermaid, to be fair. And this is the glory. So let me show the another version of this. So let's say you're flying and you are firing with your primary fire, but you can see that you are marking them as well. So as long as you are firing them, you are kinda judgmenting them, basically putting the mark on it. And after you mark, if you press the alternate button, they are gonna explode, basically. So let's just mark and then press alternate, they are gonna explode. But the funny thing is that after you use that explosion, the mark are gonna be removed. You can see like I'm marking these, and when I explode, the mark are gone. So what we are gonna do? What we are gonna do is basically so simple. You press your one, and then they get marked, everyone, all of them, and you can just spam the alternate fire that way. So it is very, very good and just insane damage. And just let's kill these. Just kill. Can you just die? Alright. Another thing is that you are on your ultimate, you throw the first light judgment, her first, and you have 5 of them. Just activate the third, and then of course activate the first one, go to ability as well, and then you can just destroy them. Literally just destroy them. Of course I need energy. So let's just drop it in. Let's check like one more and then just destroy them. It's that powerful. Just powerful. It's just destroying all of them. Of course there's an explosion radius, so the more stacked they are, the more damage they are going to get. Can I just, yeah, no, yeah, okay. So let's do this, that, the 3, and then you are just dropping the first. Let's just throw some more, and then when you press alternate, you can see the middle is got destroyed already, and kind of here too. But if they are single, basically their explosion is not gonna reach to each other. So that for this reason, the more stacked they are, the more damage output you are gonna basically have on them. And this is basically the setup. So always keep all the skills up and place the first on wherever the enemies are, or if you are in the survival and you are camping on one spot, just put this first on 2 of the doors and then just take flight and then just keep exploding them the more as long as they are coming through that way. So just put the first, of course activate the second ability, and then just literally keep spamming the thing. And you don't have to be close to them as well. I can even be in here and then just explode the skill in there, and that's it. And one of the good things about the second ability, let's just kill this guy. Alright, the second ability, okay, we have the enemy, we have energy, let's just say we use that. We put the second one and then the ultimate. So there's an enemies here, right? We are about to kill them, but you can see like the second skill on the right side, it has 30, 29, 28, 27 seconds, 26, 25. So the more enemy you kill with the judgment is gonna increase the ability duration. So 44, 43, you can see it like the more people you kill, the more duration you are gonna get. So it is kinda going indefinitely as far as I'm aware. I go up to like 150 seconds and this is just perfect. And all you gotta do is just switch in between whatever you need. You need shield, switch it. You need ability strength before you use the ability, switch to the ability. You need a shield or weapon damage, just switch to a weapon damage and use your weapon and all. Like if you cannot fly, and then cannot use that, and then basically switch to it. And while we are at it, let's just put this on, and then you can see if we are on the weapon damage, it is kind of increasing the damage output of it. Am I right? I'm not quite sure of this. Yeah, okay. I'm not quite sure if the weapon damage is actually affecting the glory or the power strength affecting the glory. I'm not quite sure of this. So let's just skip that one. Probably need more testing on this. Those are the skills and those are how you should use it basically. And if we go into the arsenal now, and if I show you my setup, I have 5 Crimson Tallforge Crimson Arcane Shards. All of them is ability strength 15%. So the more ability strength you have is the better basically. I believe the duration is just fine on the skill setup. With this we have 273 ability strength, but there is a but. The but is you have 60% more power strength from the multi-augmented arcane and 25 in here. So basically 360-ish kind of a power strength you have with the multi-augment and growing power proc. 360-ish. And I believe that's it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the setup. We have growing power. You have the status effect and then use the skill, whatever the skill that you are gonna use. Just put a effect first and then keep checking on the top right corner of the screen so you can see if the growing power is up or not. The second one, it synergizes well with the Glory on High because it has a 50% damage reduction plus 24% from the aerodynamic aura. I just cannot make my mind on what can I run on the second aura, so it is kinda unnecessary for me as well. You can put combat discipline, you kill the enemy and then the whole team is gonna get basically some healing. You can use Dreamer's Bond, the whole team get energy and the health regen, or you can basically go with the brief respite, but I'm not sure of this. Like I'm not really into it because the second skill shield is quite powerful, so you don't exactly need this. Maybe. So this aerodynamic is just reducing the damage you take while on the airborne, and the whole point is that you should be on airborne already the whole time. No exception. So for this I'm using the aerodynamic and growing power. And on the Exalus we have power drift, and another power strength mode is the blind rage and Umbral intensify. Just right here, this too is perfect. I know overextended is kinda destroying the ability strength, but you are kind of negating that benefit, negating that negative with the Archon Shards. So you need Archon Shards and the Molt Augmented, just so you know. But the benefit you get from Overextended is just huge. Like, look at the first skill, 14.1 meter. It is insane. And we have the stretch for the range, as you can see, and the Primate Flow, max energy, and Primate Continuity for the duration, and adaptation to reduce our damage further. And the last but not least is the Archon Vitality. I don't need health with this. We have 930 health, but I don't need health with this setup because the damage reduction is too high. That is quite alright. But status effects from abilities that deal heat damage will be applied twice. So, let's see if we go into it in here again. Sorry about it. The first skill is dealing the heat damage. The second skill is the buff already. And the third skill is also dealing heat damage. And the fourth skill is also dealing heat as well. So all of them is heat, and they are gonna hit twice as much, and you can get the stack on the enemy so fast that you are gonna destroy the enemies at some point with this Archon Vitality, because it applies twice. And this is not just that too, like this is not just these skills too, because if we go into the Glory, which is Exalted weapon of the Jade, it is also originally heat. You can do something else, like you can combine it with something else, and then heat and electricity is gonna be radiation. So the heat is included into it. You can either push it further with more heat, or you can do gas, for example, or literally something else, like whatever you wanna do or wherever you wanna go, whatever the mission you are going, you can just do it. On the Glory we have primed target cracker, crit damage, and primed pistol gambit, crit chance, primed heated charge for the heat damage. Galvanize diffusion for more multi-shots. Is the more you have is gonna basically destroy the whole team the more that you stack this, and it is very easy to stack. I thought about Galvanize shots. You get a status chance, and when you kill the enemy you get a direct damage per status type affecting the target for 14 seconds up to 3 times. But the fact that either someone else need to drop this status effects on the enemy, or you just cannot run it. Like, I'm most of the time I'm playing solo, so I'm not exactly sure if it is beneficial for me, this Galvanize shot, because I'm not gonna make too much status effect on the enemy. The whole Jade skills are making heat. I'm not gonna use a weapon, and this Glory is also making heat damage too. But the only thing that you can do is using the Whirlglass on the Sentinel, which I have viral and heat in here. So it is just gonna be a 2 type of status damage. So the maximum you can get from the Glory is that Glory with the Galvanize shot is that 80% more direct damage, if you are lucky. By the way, that's the thing. So heat and viral basically. But yeah, the way that you do your Helios or the whatever Sentinel you are using with the mad modes right here, this setup took me a while to figure it out. You can see 14 Forma. And on the Whirlglass is just 6, but you get the idea, I guess. So I need completely different build video of the Helios and the Whirlglass, but you can do it that way. You can even throw like different status modes in here and combine them and do something else, and and then that way you can use the Galvanize shot instead of let's do it this way, instead of Magnum Force. So that's the way that you can do if you want to run Galvanize shot on the setup. Other than that, just use Magnum Force and you are pretty much good. Fulmination doesn't affect the AoE for some reason. I'm not sure why, or even if it does, it is very small. I mean, it is not maxed out, but I should be able to see the difference, but there's no difference when I use Fulmination on the size of this basically there's no difference, so it is always the same little tiny microscopic AoE in there. So the Fulmination didn't work for me. And that's the glory setup basically. Hornet Strike, Magnum Force and Lethal Torrent, Fire Rate and Multi-Shot. And Anemic Agility, more Fire Rate. It is just perfect. So you need basically more Fire Rate. Of course, if you have Riven as well, you can use the Riven on it. But yeah, you can see the Fire Rate is just perfect. Just perfect. Mwah. I can't describe how good it is compared to the without fire rate mods. So this is just a perfect setup for it. Yeah, I guess we can put a Riven on them as well, it seems. Well, I'm gonna do a few challenges then. Seems like it. And the Riven disposition is how much? Not bad. It is 3. Also, it has an infinite magazine as well, because basically it is spending the energy of you have the more you use it. And this is basically the setup. As far as I'm aware, I haven't skipped anything. Did I? I guess not. I tried the setup on the steel pad and it's just basically destroying everything. Like, I don't know how powerful this thing is, but it is just literally destroying everyone in its path and pretty powerful. The kit that she has, reviving people from far away without going there and just by looking at it, removing the armor strip is just insane on this, or Ophanim. Just the little AoE that deals damage and you get healing, the power strength you can have like this, or the weapon damage if you need, or the shield that you can have for the emergency moments is just perfect. And then of course the ultimate, you can fly. That's just insane character. For some time that my recent favorite was Dante. Dante is really powerful, but the Jade is just whole another level, man. It's just perfect setup. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to it. It is kinda oh, one more thing before I close the video. The reason I have 8 Forma. So basically you can get away with 5 or 6 if I'm not wrong, 4 or 5. But the reason that I actually formatted all of them is because the more capacity you have in here, you can see 28 to 88. The more capacity you have on free, you start a mission, you have starting energy of 265. So, for example, Sanctuary Onslaught, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, you just go into another wave. You start with 265 energy. That's the whole point. I even use the Umbral Forma on it. So, Umbral Forma on it. So, that's the whole point, having more capacity and starting the mission, or after you die and then you get up, starting the mission with more energy. I guess it is also considering as after, if you die and you revive yourself, you start with the 265 energy as well on this. So please do form all of them. At least you can form everything else except Umbra Forma if you don't have it. But you should do it if you have it. Trust me, it is a lifesaver. Without the Umbra Forma, you are gonna have 225 energy. And then if you have the Umbra, basically 265 starting energy of this. So, also Arcanes. I don't know how stupid I am that I forgot to mention Arcane Energize. Multi-augmented is a must-have. And on the other place, we have Arcane Energize. If you don't have Arcane Energize, you can use Arcane Accelerate for the primary weapons. But it kind of needs a testing. I guess it is not going to work on the ultimate. So, for this reason, let's say secondary. I'm not. I guess there's no proper way for the secondary weapons, is it? There's no arcane for secondary weapon on critical hit, or maybe if there is, I'm forgetting something. So you can use probably kind of some stuff, like you can even use Guardian, more armor, but I'm not sure if you need it. So I would just stick with the Energize, because you just descend from the sky and then just collect the energy and stuff. So I will just stick with the Energize and multi-augmented. But if you don't have Energize, there's an event going on, you should get it. Other than that, you can use Barrier, you can use Grace maybe if you think you are getting too much damage to your health, especially. And that's it. Or you can use Arcane Avenger. But if you are gonna use Arcane Avenger, for example, you should remove Aerodynamic. And you should use Combat Discipline, because when you kill someone, you lose 10 health. And it is gonna proc Arcane Avenger. Just so you know. It's just a little tip of that. And this is it. This setup is pretty much... this setup video is pretty much, I guess I covered up the whole thing. If you have questions or something, let me know, and I will try my best to help you out, fix the issues and all, etc. And one other thing, that I have all the weapons of the Jade, like the secondary, primary, Evensong, Cantare or Harmony. I have everything. I just didn't went into those stuff yet. You can think of them like opposite of the dread, hate and despair of the Stalker weapons. So I will probably make a video of them pretty soon. Until then guys, subscribe for more videos like this and take care of yourself. See you on the next video. Have fun.